أفضل ممارسة التايكواندو لأنها الرياضة التي مارسها منذ الطفولة.
I've been doing Taekwondo since I was about 5. The farthest I got was a third-degree black belt. I did it quite a bit when I was back home in Dallas. However, up here, the team is very, very competitive, and I really don't like competitive sports. So while I'm up here, I don't do it. However, as soon as I go back home, I'll resume.
يمتلك ويليام خططا كبيرة لمستقبله بعد الحصول على الدرجة العلمية.
I've been studying at CU Boulder for about a year now, and I'm a Russian major. Now you may be wondering what exactly I can do with Russian and Islam. That doesn't seem to make sense at first, but 12% of the Russian population is Muslim. A lot of them are rather poor, especially in the suburbs of Moscow and St. Petersburg, as well as in the North Caucasus, where there has been some wars. So I'd like to teach Islam over there, and do because, like, someone that teaches Islam is kind of hard to come by nowadays because of the revolutions that occurred across the world in the early 20th century. A lot of the scholars and ulama have been killed off. Living as a Muslim American is interesting, to say the least, because, see, I'm not open to the same discrimination or strange looks or just sometimes even outright violence that a lot of my brothers and sisters are subjected to just because they, quote, look Muslim, whatever a Muslim looks like. Now, see, so people don't know unless I tell them. So I have to say it's relatively easy for me, but there is a hard aspect. The media tends to have, in my opinion, a bias. And I don't mean like it's open hate speech, but it's more just like misconceptions that they think is fact.
Mainly, by law, I wasn't discriminated at all. However, sometimes you can feel it from the people's eyes that you are different, especially having a beard or looking like a Middle Eastern person. It's a little bit difficult, but I'm cool with it, I'm fine.
Being a Muslim in America is very important to us Muslims living in this country because each one of us is considered to be really an ambassador to his faith or her faith. And since Islam has been looked under the microscope lately, and we Muslims, we need to be very careful on how to live our lives in America as really true Muslims. And we try to be the best we can with our neighbors, with our friends, with our coworkers, and everybody else.
And so up here, people are really tolerant of religions because it's highly irreligious campus. And of course it's Boulder. It's known as the People's Republic of Boulder in other parts of Colorado. I will make it quite obvious that yes, I'm a Muslim and I'm proud of it and I'm not going to hide it. Now, however, when I go back to Texas in the summer, I won't be able to do that. It's Texas. I was already scared there before I became a Muslim. So back at the time with my friends in Dallas, we were discussing about what we're doing in college and stuff. And somehow the subject of religion came up one time. And I said, oh no, I'm not Christian, I'm Muslim. Now they thought I was joking, so they just laughed. So then somehow later in the day, it came up and they started talking about religion again. And so one of them asked, okay, so do any of you either still consider yourself a Christian? And I said, no, I'm a Muslim. And they said, oh, you are serious.
When William became a Muslim, I was definitely surprised, and I guess I was kind of scared for him because what I've heard about Islam isn't necessarily a good thing about it, just through the media. But now that I've talked to him about it, I'm really comfortable with him, with his decision. I'm very excited for him. I'm very happy for him that he's happy.
My name is Dante Richard Burgos, and I am William Schute's friend. I've been his friend since around 5th grade, so it's been about 9 to 10 years I've been his friend. Christianity and Islam have a lot of similar things, and I didn't really realize that until he converted and told me that. And so, you know, that actually helped a lot. And since then, I feel like our relationship's gotten better because of it.
Since he became a Muslim, he's actually become extremely passionate, extremely he's just grown up a lot, and I've noticed that.
Now, see, it didn't change their opinion of me in any way at all. See, they were open-minded people. And see, I was still the same person, essentially. It's just that I had a different religious identity. Now, ironically, even after the person that asked that question rediscovered his faith in Christianity and became a really, really hardcore Christian, we still get along perfectly fine. So overall, I have never faced really any discrimination from anyone from becoming a Muslim. But then again, I've only been Muslim for roughly a year in a highly liberal environment. So I'll just have to see how that plays out.
Of course it's okay for a non-Muslim to have a friend as a Muslim. This is America. We can all live together. I mean, there are some people in the world that don't want to live together in peace, but we can live together in peace. We can be friends. You know, it's the right thing to do.
Since becoming a Muslim, my life has only become harder in two regards. Firstly, in the sense that now I'm part of a discriminated and mistrusted minority within the Western world. It's hard to kind of keep a peace of mind when people are constantly spreading lies about you, when people are constantly spreading misinformation about you and your religion and your brothers and sisters. It becomes quite frustrating indeed. In another way, it's hard to prove them wrong in the sense that for every Muslim that's educated in their religion and is going to try to teach the real religion, there's about 100 more that are ignorant of it and are going to prove the opposite. So in that sense, there's a lot of teaching to do.
As an American, non-Muslim, like myself, you know, William, I've known him for so long, and before all this, before he converted and everything, I always kind of thought Islam was kind of a violent religion. There would be, you know, these extremists, these people just going around blowing up things, you know, causing terror. And, you know, I blame the media a little bit for that, but...
Firstly, when people translate jihad as holy war, that makes me sick. Holy war is an oxymoron. Jihad primarily means to purify one's soul, to fight against sin and our internal lust. A terrorist cannot be a Muslim, and a Muslim cannot possibly be a terrorist. First off, suicide bombing is against religion in many ways. Firstly, killing innocent people is forbidden. Secondly, killing with fire, or even hurting someone with fire, is forbidden as well. We believe that is only for God to do. Number three, to take your own life is to damn oneself to hell. It is said that those people that take their own lives will be repeatedly killing themselves within the hellfire, and they will never die. And there is a hadith to back this up, to never use suicide in any form during a war. And I find it quite sad that over here in the Western world, that due to the ignorance of Islam and Muslims, that these stereotypes that all Muslims are terrorists, extremists, wife beaters, oppressors of women, oppressors of other religions, are allowed to flourish. But since people over here don't have as much contact with Muslims, they're not going to be able to verify, or not verify that, but have anything to say against it, so they'll just accept it.
Well, there are a lot of people that think negative things about Islam. And in my experience, there are also the same people that think negative things about all kinds of foreign things that are not just like them. And my message to them would be, don't judge anybody based on these preconceived prejudices. Really understand the religion, understand the true nature of the religion, not just what you hear, and understand the people. And once you get to know them, then you'll realize what Islam is really about, and that these are good people, and they're just like everybody else.
One of my favorite things about being a Muslim is that it doesn't matter where I come from, where I was born, when I was born, what my ethnicity is, but I am part of one ummah. Although in some places of the world that won't be true. They'll still discriminate even though they're Muslim. But the fact is that I was able to step in to this community and be accepted regardless of having been born a Christian or white or an American. So it's one of my other favorite things. Another aspect I like is that I don't have to reject a lot of science, and I can still be 100% Muslim. See, most of my brothers and sisters are probably lower class. And I'm not saying it's a stereotype, but there is a lot of poor Muslims in Africa, all over the world, as well as Europe and in the United States. So I came to understand them better. I came to, like, this view. I wasn't so aggressive towards minorities anymore either, because in Islam, people are not considered superior or inferior on the basis of race, but rather good deeds and righteousness. So since it was made unpermissible in my religion to have such views, I couldn't. And plus, now most of my friends are minorities. And since in Islam we're supposed to love people, even if they're non-Muslim, even if they are the worst kafir or unbeliever, we're supposed to still love them as a human being and treat them as one. And that really changed me, because now I'm a lot more tolerant of individuals. I'm a lot more loving towards people. See, what I liked about Islam was the Sharia. I liked how it had a strict set of laws laid out, like a strict set of practices, as well as just like what you can and can't do. See, in Christianity, it was really vague. And as someone with autism, it's really, really good to have everything laid out, because if things are confusing, that's really not good. It throws us in a hizzy. So I really like that, just because, okay, so I know what to do, I know how to do it, I know when to do it. So it's actually made it a lot easier to follow than Christianity, even though I had to start doing more. That was the main thing that attracted me to Islam. That's why I chose it over all the other religions.
It certainly is a good choice for him, because it really has connected him to God. And he wasn't connected that way the last few years. So it's been very good for that. And I think it will be a good choice for him to give him that connection.
ويليام يوازن بين دراسته الجامعية ودراسة دينه الجديد.
I like learning about Islam. I like learning about Muhammad and Allah, because when I read that stuff, I actually feel moved. See, I mean, like when I was a child, you'd be reading Bible and anything, I didn't feel a thing. I just felt, okay, that's cool. But as a Muslim, I feel a lot more moved when I read about, like, Muhammad and what he has done. So whenever I learn about Muhammad and, like, just all he went through and how he reacted to that, it's very moving. It makes me say, you know what, I want to be like that person.
مع أن ويليام اعتنق الإسلام منذ فترة قصيرة نسبيا، إلا أن أي شخص يقابله يدرك أنه ضليع في أمور دينه الجديد وأنه صادق في معتقداته.
Since I became a Muslim, I've acquired more self-confidence and a lot less fear as well. Now I'm a lot more calm. I know that Allah knows best.
مهما يكن المكان الذي سيهديه إليه طريقه في الحياة، فويليام قد بدأ رحلة جديدة ستغير حياته، وذلك عن طريق اعتناق الإسلام.